This is Glenn Houston here, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial. It's kind of going to be speedy of how to paint up a Nerf gun, because a lot of people don't have the resources to just buy up guns that look really cool, and when you're cosplaying, you want to make something that isn't real, but looks like it could be a part of the universe that you're trying to cosplay as a part of, such as I did with my Mass Effect gun. So this was a Stampede, and as you can see, it looks battle damaged, worn, but it is not that sort of orangish and with blue and green and yellow and all these bright colors that it was before. And now it looks like something added the little N7 symbol here that could be a part of the Mass Effect universe. And yeah, so I'm gonna do a quick tutorial of that and show you how I do it. Hopefully this will help you out, save you a little bit of money. It's not crazy expensive to do, so here we go. So what we see here is just that I've spray painted them. I took them apart. I have a little baggie with all the screws and springs and inside stuff that didn't need to be painted. And that's the outside view of everything. And then the inside, and the most important thing on the inside is that you get the edges, so none of that paint shows through. And that's why it's important to take it apart, so that none of that orange stuff shows. So as you can see from that last bit, these are the different pieces that I used. You can see that I gave it a couple coats, but you can see also that there's a little bit of orange showing. And same with the silver ones, is not quite all of them got covered, partially because I did it at night and I did it pretty quick because I was making this video. But what you can do to supplement that and make sure that that stuff gets covered is to buy this awesome model paint. It's a model color for acrylics, if you can see that, and I actually buy it at my local comic store. This is actually mostly for Warhammer, the miniatures game, but it stays really well and it covers really well, and that's the most important thing. So you have to do loads and loads of coats. So of course you have your cup of water for your paintbrushes, and so I have a couple different types of paintbrushes. I have one that's for a little bit more wide application, which isn't as necessary when you have already painted, but if you have wider spaces you want to do, and then a thinner brush for detail work. And sometimes it's even useful to have Sharpies in the color that you're going to use, and I actually, for my spray paint, use this Rust-Oleum stuff. It's a metallic color for the silver, and it's works on metal, wood, and more, indoor, outdoor, and this stuff works really well. It goes on a little light. And if you really want to spend money, you can get these guys. It's a Krylon Shortcuts, but they come in smaller cans. A little bit more money, but they tend to, you need less coats to put on. And then I have for the black, which is not too big of a deal because black kind of dominates anything you put it on. The Rust-Oleum paints for plastic, usually used for cars and stuff like that. But I use it for Nerf guns because I'm a nerd. But anyway, so you have, I also have over here something that I can kind of mix paint on and put it on, and that is this guy. It's just it's my wife's because she's an artist, but as you can see, there's lots of silver spots and black spots and red spots because of the Mass Effect stuff. And then also for detail work, depending on what color you're using, so if it's a silver and you want it to look worn, you obviously can't put silver on it, and you have to put another color, so I will put black, but you just get an old toothbrush and you kind of sit it on there and just kind of work it on. I'll show some of that stuff. This is kind of going to be instructional, but I'm not going to do it all because it takes a long time to make the details that I want. And then I also have this red. The reason why I have this red is to put on a nice little rebel symbol on it, so it gets, once again, that theme. A group of friends and I are going to be going to the Long Beach Comic Expo in February. So we may or may not use this. If anything, I can bring it just for fun. I don't know. I'm probably going to be a Jedi. I think I'm going to be a gray Jedi. But it's something that we can use for our Comic-Con. Or I can put it up online and somebody else can use it for their costume. But yeah. So I will go ahead and do a little more. And so this is the bag full of screws. It's important to make sure you keep all the pieces. I actually once I took it apart, because these are kind of complicated on the inside, you may want it to still function. It's important to take a picture of what the inside looks like, because I don't have a memory that can come back to 2 or 3 days later and remember what everything looked like on the inside. But Some of them obviously fit in very specific places, but certain screws are different lengths for specific pieces. Put them in the wrong place, something else is going to fall out of place. Or with this one, has a lot of springs and little bells and whistles that make it function correctly. So I want to make sure it still works. I'm going to put it back together and show you how I'm going to do some of that stuff. So I'll come back after it's put back together. Whew! So it took about 45 minutes of just finicky, I don't know the words. It took about 45 minutes for me to get this assembled, and part of the problem is that I just didn't know how to. So I went online, YouTube video, which I will link in the description, to just give me kind of an easy way in. Apparently, a couple of these pieces that were just being super weird, not necessary. They're safety pieces that are, meant to keep things from, going off. And I forgot a screw. That's fun. But they aren't completely necessary, and they were keeping me from being able to do it. But a lot of it is, all you got to do, search online. If you can't figure out, you search your specific one. This is a Recon, because you can build a bunch of other stuff onto it. A lot of the Nerf modders on the internet will have the assembly and the unassembly videos of how to put it all together. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. I don't know the details of it. You can see that some of the is that right there, right there. Some of the stuff started to come off because the slide actually does come back. But either way, some of that's gonna maybe look like cool wear. You can see that some of the paint's starting to come off, but I want to make sure that you can't see down to that. So I have to decide whether or not I want to keep it here or keep it there. But either way, I'm going to show you some techniques I have now as far as, covering up, any orange spots that you may have missed, or battle damaging and stuff like that. And, yeah, so we'll do that now. So welcome back. It's been a while. Long Beach Comic-Con is come and gone. I did not put the Rebel symbol on the weapon because I ended up using it from my Mass Effect cosplay. I will put a little photo up here of us in what we looked like in our Mass Effect cosplay, me and my wife. This is the finished product. I don't know if you can see it. The 7's a little wonky, but if you look real close, you can kind of see how, as far as techniques go, I went inside and I used extra paint, and then I went across it with so I put the paint on top in that line that's already existing on the Nerf gun, and then used a dry paper towel, sometimes a Q-tip, and went over it lightly, so it left the paint inside, but not on the edges or outside of it. Same thing with all these, that's how you get those detailed lines. Like, I'm not that good. Those pre-existed, so I just used them. And then, and then this right here is a little bit of crafting foam, so I put a black base on the back, and then I cut out the N in the 7. There was one on the other side, but apparently it got knocked off during the con. And then you just kind of, if you have a symbol you would like to put, I put mine squarely over the Nerf symbol because Nerf isn't really Mass Effect-y. You go to the edges and you're able to kind of like fill in the inside so that you can't see any of that orange, even if you missed some bits. Once you have it all painted up the way you want, so none of this had any like this damaging. On the silver I did black stuff. On the black stuff I did silver markings to give it kind of a worn look, like as if it had actually been used in this, fake science fiction world. And all you do there, I actually just got a toothbrush. And you use the toothbrush, and you dab it in some of the stuff, you wipe it off a little bit so it's not super thick, and then you just kind of go over the edges. And that will, once you work it in, it kind of gives it that, like metallic, worn look that you'll want. So yeah. Also, I'm probably going to link a picture of us as Jedi because my really good friend Symbius on Instagram took some amazing photos, and so I'll put some of those up and also put a link to his name so that you guys can check his stuff out because he's awesome. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to comment in the section, and I can either message you or comment back or whatever. But yeah, so that's how you make a gun. I know I didn't go over the exact how-tos of it, but I gave you all the tools. You need your paintbrush, your water, you need a toothbrush so you can do the dry brushing. You need the different acrylic paints or the model paints that you choose to buy, and you need a screwdriver to unscrew everything, and spray paint. It's really simple. You just choose some colors, choose a theme, and go for it, because a lot of it is just going to be the time it takes to get used to the techniques. And eventually, you know, I know mine's not like probably the best thing in the world, but it does what it's supposed to. And it looks neat, and it fits with the theme. So, like I said, have any questions? Just let me know. I'm always open to criticisms. Constructive criticisms. Thanks for watching if you did. Sticking out for this 10-minute video or more. From me, Glenn Houston, I'm signing out. Cyber 5.